request all of you to please stand for the invocation.
കർമ്മഭൂമി തളിരിടുന്ന വർണ്ണമേകിയും നമ്മിൽ വാഴും മാതിനാമം ഇന്നു വാഴ്ത്തിടാം. ഞങ്ങൾ പാടുമീ സ്വരങ്ങൾ കീർത്തനങ്ങളാകണേ. ചുവടുവയ്ക്കുമീ പദങ്ങൾ നൃത്തലോലമാകണേ. കുഞ്ഞു വീടിനുൾക്കളങ്ങൾ സ്വർഗമാകണേ. അമ്മ നൽകും മുമ്മ പോലും അമൃതമാകണേ. പൂർണ്ണമീ ചരാചരങ്ങൾ ഗുരുവരങ്ങളാകണേ.
Thank you. Please take your seats. To give a red carpet welcome to everyone assembled here, may we take the pleasure of requesting our respected Secretary and CEO, Sri Joy P. Jacob, the pillar of our institution, to welcome the August gathering.
A very warm good evening to all. Esteemed Vice President of MOSC Medical Mission, His Grace Dr. Yakub Mara Iranius, Chief Guest of this August meeting, Dr. M. Beena IAS, Professor Emeritus Dr. M.C. Matthew, Reverend Fathers, Management Officials, members of the Governing Board, MMM family members, representatives of the media, PTA Executive Committee members, parents, new graduates, ladies and gentlemen. The graduation day of our MBBS students is the annual event of this institution that all of us eagerly await. This is the day when months of toil of the faculty, years of hard work of the students, and a decade of anticipation of the parents fructify to mold and amalgamate the future health providers of our society. While the Dean would be highlighting the annual academic events of this institution, I would like to throw some light on the infrastructural growth. This institution had a humble beginning in 1970 with a 100-bedded hospital under the stewardship of Sri M. Chakupilla as the founder secretary and Dr. K.C. Maman as the first medical director. An institution fueled by the dedication and dreams of the founding fathers and the zeal and support of the people of Kolancherry, metamorphosed into a 1,100-bedded super specialty hospital with an academically recognized medical college in 2002. The medical college has an intake of 100 MBBS students every year and provides postgraduate training in 9 specialties and super specialty in DM neonatology. Keeping abreast with the advances in medical science is by no means an easy task. It has been our endeavor to have focused enhancement of our facilities to ensure steady parity with international standards of healthcare. The 50,000 square feet atrium complex, due to be commissioned within the next couple of months, would be adding a paradigm shift in the patient care facility of our hospital. All departments of this institution, may it be community medicine, pediatrics, gynecology, medicine, or surgery with their super specialty wings, have all been rendering human service to the society. To cite a few events over the past 1 year, the Department of Cardiology, with its active interventional arm, has joined the elite group of centers doing the transcatheter aortic valve implantation procedure commonly known as TAVI. The Department of Interventional Radiology and Cardiology received accolades from all when the team saved the leg of a 94-year-old lady by doing an emergency femoral angioplasty and stenting. Some procedures and interventions are done exclusively in our radiodiagnosis department, like arthrograms, fetal imaging, neuroablation for critical limb ischemia, and some neurointerventions. The Institute of Advanced Orthopedics has earned a name for itself in a very short time for its skill in arthroplasty and arthroscopy, using the most advanced techniques. Arthroscopic shoulder procedures, especially arthrolatarge, is being done at our center successfully for the past few years. Ours is one of the few centers in India where this difficult procedure for shoulder dislocation with bone loss is done. The Kolancherry Institute of Neurological Diseases, under the able guidance of its founder director, Dr. Sojanai, is continuing to deliver yeoman service in the field of neurology and neurosurgery. All advances and training in healthcare has been done without losing sight of the social commitment the founding fathers of this institution has envisaged. The outreach programs of the Community Medicine Department, which coordinated health camps conducted by various departments of this institution, and our contribution to society during the COVID-19 pandemic all stand testimony to this. I have no hesitation in stating that these achievements have been possible only because of the ever-pervading grace of God Almighty and the hard work and affection of the MMM family. It is my pleasant duty now to introduce and welcome the guests of honor and this August gathering. The president of today's function is His Grace Dr. Yakub Mar Irenaeus, Metropolitan of Kochi Diocese and our Vice President. His Grace is well known as an acclaimed orator, academician, theologist, and scholar. Having obtained his bachelor's and master's degree in English literature from Madras University, His Grace obtained his B.Ed and M.Ed degrees from Kerala University. He also has 2 PhDs to his credit, one in English literature and the other in Christian mysticism. Coming to the theological front, His Grace did his B.D. degree from Serampur University and MTH from the United States. His Grace has served the church and society in different capacities as the president of the Orthodox Youth Movement, president of the Orthodox Christian Balasamajam, vice chairman of Christian Medical College, Vellore, etc., to mention a few. He has written more than 20 books and dissertations in Malayalam and English. His Grace readily accepted our request to preside over this function and bless the young medical professionals on this occasion. On behalf of this August Assembly, I extend a warm and cordial welcome to you, Tirumeni. Dr. M. Beena IAS, a qualified doctor and an administrator par excellence, is the chairperson of Cochin Port Authority. We have been fortunate to have her as our chief guest, and she would be formally introduced by her good friend and classmate, Professor Dr. Chitra Jayaprakash, head of the Department of Microbiology. Madam, we are indeed grateful to you for having spared your time to join us in this event. On behalf of the entire MMM family, I wholeheartedly welcome you to this meeting. Dr. M.C. Matthew, Professor Emeritus of Developmental Pediatrics, is a guiding force of this institution. He is a pioneer in establishing the program for developmental pediatrics for the first time in the country in CMC Vellore in 1997. We have been fortunate to have him as a member of our MMM family for over a past decade now. He is an acknowledged academician, astute clinician, and an empathetic doctor, ingrained and molded in the true Christian spirit of service to mankind. We cannot think of a better person to initiate our students into the world of medicine, sir. I wholeheartedly welcome you to this function. The members of the governing board and executive committee are a source of support and strength to carry out my responsibilities as the secretary and CEO of this institution. My hearty welcome to all the board members. The teaching faculties of this institution have left no stone unturned in training and grooming our stars of today, the graduates. I take this opportunity to congratulate our professors and all the faculty members for the excellent training you have imparted to the students. I welcome you all from the bottom of my heart to this function. Parents and relatives of today's fresh graduates, you have taken so much trouble to come and witness this memorable function. I am certain it is your presence in this audience that would be most cherished in the memories of your children. The faculty and management of this organization are grateful for the trust you have bestowed on us for molding your wards into young doctors. We have strived to fulfill your dreams, equipped them with skills, and imparted humane values. I extend a hearty welcome to all the parents and relatives on behalf of the management and the faculty members. Members of the press have always shown a positive approach in reporting the affairs of this institution and accepted our invitation to be here. My sincere words of welcome to the members of the press. I am happy to note that many distinguished people and PTA Executive Committee members have accepted our invitation and blessed this function with their valuable presence. A hearty welcome to all. The success of this healthcare teaching institution is also due to the unstinting cooperation of the non-teaching nursing, chaplaincy, and administrative staff, whom we dearly address as MMM family. I sincerely welcome each and every one of you to this function. May I take this opportunity to congratulate the graduates for their commendable achievements. Dear children, you brought laurels to this institution through your achievements at university, national, and international level. My prayers and best wishes for the very best in your professional and personal life. I conclude by extending a very warm and hearty welcome to all present here on this 15th graduation ceremony of the MOSC Medical College, Kolancherry. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We take immense pleasure in requesting our Revered Dean, Dr. K.K. Devakar, the sculptor of determination and self-confidence, to give us a report of the activities and a brief account on the achievements of the 2016 batch.
His Grace Dr. Yakub Mar Irenaeus, our most respected Metropolitan. Guest of honor of the day, Dr. Mbina IAS. Our most respected Secretary and CEO, Sri Joy P. Jacob. Professor M.C. Matthew. My colleagues, Professor G.G. Pelukaran, Dr. Sojan Naik, Reverend Fathers, management officials, members of the Governing Board, Executive Committee, faculty members, invited guests, representative media, PTA, proud parents, young graduates, and my dear colleagues. The graduation day too had become a victim of the unprecedented disruptions brought about by the COVID pandemic. It may not be wrong if the world was to analyze many things as pre-COVID and as post-COVID times. It has been over 2 years since an on-stage annual report of this institution has been presented. The last 2 years had been a challenge for the entire medical education system. Online classes, online practicals, limited clinical exposure, fear of the unknown while handling a patient, frequent disruption of classes, to cyclical affectation of a few of the batch getting COVID. The list goes on and on. It would be gratifying to say that things have started to gradually limp back to normalcy, or should I say, pre-COVID times. As is the practice, we would highlight some of the events that occurred in the academic year 2022 and subsequently recap the achievements of the present graduating batch. The examinations of 2022 were very challenging, especially for the students of the first MBBS and second MBBS, as they had suffered a double whammy, the new CBME curriculum and the disruption of regular classes for nearly 2 years due to COVID. Despite this, the first MBBS exams held in February 2022 yielded a 90% result, well within the top percentiles of the colleges of the state. The second MBBS results were a bit low by the MOSC standards, and we were all a bit worried when we saw that we got only 75% passed. But the most relieving factor, or I should say a vested relieving factor, was when I realized we were still in one of the highest percentiles of the state. It is understandable, as online training for subjects like pathology, microbiology, etc. did create problems for the medical students all over the country, and more so after a batch of students who have been having COVID at home, suddenly getting down to second MBBS studies, transition was very difficult, not only in Kolancherry but in all the colleges around the state. In the third MBBS Part 1 examination of April 2022, our students gave us a 92% pass percentage. In the final MBBS Part 2 examination held in March 2022, our students gave us 95% pass percentage, with Kirtana Manoj securing the second rank in the entire state of Kerala in the final MBBS examination, provided the cherry on the cake. The postgraduate students were also out to prove their mettle. 100% pass results in the PG examinations. Dr. Limbi Chako and Dr. Lintu George secured the first and second rank respectively in the entire state of Kerala in the MD Anesthesiology examination of the Kerala Institute of Health Sciences. Dr. Sangeeta Vincent secured the third rank in the state in the MD Psychiatry examination of the KUHS. Our secretary has been graceful to award all of them a gold medal. Unfortunately, all three of them are working elsewhere and express their inability to come here on time, but we thank the management for this gesture. Indeed, a good beginning for an academic year. While the sports and athletics activities of the current year has yet to take off, the small contingent of students who participated showed their mettle in the Kerala University of Health Sciences Zonal Arts Festival involving over 50 colleges held just last week in Thrissur. First position for Western group music was bagged by the 6 members team of Moses, Christina and Hannah of 2020 batch, Rochelle 2019, Anjan and Shyam of 2018 batch. Second position for installation competition, again a 4-member team comprising of Swati and Malavika of 2020 batch and Adarsh and Marble of 2019 batch. Second position Western percussion, Paul Thomas of 2019 batch. Second position Kada Prasangam, Ashwin, Shine, Tom and Shyam of 2018 batch. I wish I can hear them perform once more. Second position Western string, Rochelle, Maria and Justine, all of 2019 batch. Third position, Rangoli by a team of 4, Shine, Swati of 2020 and Bhima and Adarsh of 2019 batch. Third position, Eastern Percussion, Shyam Kumar 2018 batch. And third position of keyboard, Tom J. Matthew of 2018 batch. I am very proud to say that these achievements were made by one of the smallest contingents of participants from any of the colleges around the state and this region. Clinical and academic work continued at its steady pace despite COVID. There were many research papers presented at various conferences and research articles from almost all departments of the institution that were published over the last 2 years in reputed international and national journals. While publication by faculty and postgraduate students is a fairly common event in medical colleges, it is the undergraduate research program that has always made this institution different from others. At this instance, I would like to offer my salutations to a former head of the Department of Pharmacology, Professor Anna Matthew, wife of Dr. M.C. Matthew, who was instrumental in establishing the foundation for student research in this institute. The program has bloomed further under the guidance of Professor Sarah Verghese, Research Coordinator and Professor in Anesthesiology. The Indian Council for Medical Research awards research scholarship to undergraduate students involved in research activities. In the current academic year too, our students had undertaken 24 research projects. 9 of these were selected for the prestigious ICMR Student Fellowship. Basil Eldo of 2018 batch has presented his research paper at the prestigious International Medical Students Conference held this month at Antwerp, Belgium. I think he should be back by this time. Congrats, Basil. The present graduates too have many young researchers amongst them. ICMR scholars among the graduates seated here are Neeraja Verma, Grishma Joy, Megha Thambi, Joel John and Serena Elizabeth Joseph. Publication by students is not a very common occurrence in medical colleges of country. Serena Elizabeth Joseph, a 2016 graduating batch, has not one but 3 publications in international journals to her credit. Tropical Journal of Pathology, JCO Global Oncology and Journal of Thoracic Oncology, all well-read journals. Many scientific papers at research conference also presented by this graduate in 2016 batch. Neeraja Verma presented at Cognito and TUFH International Conference in 2020. Grishma Joy got Medifest paper presentation second prize. Grishma Joy again participated in the CMC Velo paper presentation. Joel John bagged the Best Research Award for NatCon 2019. So we have a lot of researchers among them. As mentioned by the CEO, advances in clinical care are an integral part of this institution. The MOSC Medical College, with its dedicated team of faculty and students, have been always striving to address the oft neglected problems in the community. Drug abuse and lifestyle diseases have become the scourge of our state. The attempts made by this college to curb the menace of drug abuse is well known to all. Dr. Francis Mutheran of the Department of Psychiatry is now a recognized United Nations Office on Drug and Crime Global Drug Demand Reduction Trainer and is also on the Drug Advisory Program of the Colombo Plan as Global Master Trainer. The Community Medicine Department, under the able leadership of the head of the department of Professor Sumit Datta, has undertaken structured projects for tackling lifestyle diseases, palliative in-house care. I believe about 117 people are being taken care of in their homes by our community medicine team, and cancer detection care projects for the community through our health care at Vettikal, Kunnekal, Kandanad and Kadakkanad. The care of the underprivileged is not merely lip service in this institution. The regular monthly outreach program in the remote tribal resettlement colony of Ponganjodu, situated in the Vengur Grama Panchayat by the Community Medicine Department, under the able guidance of Dr. Paul Daniel, Associate Professor and his team, reflects the do service without publicity policy of this institution. Our chief guest of the day, Dr. Beena, who was also formerly the collector of Ernakulam district, will definitely know about this colony and the problems that tribals are facing there. Comprehensive multi-specialty health camps are routinely coordinated by the Community Medicine Department with the support from all specialty and super specialty departments at various panchayats and blocks, along with the ongoing school health and industrial health programs. The cervical cancer screening and subsidized HPV vaccination and awareness campaign for preventing cervical cancer conducted by the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology was helpful to many. The role of faculty in molding and motivating students can never be overstated. Their motivational and international skills have often been recognized even at national level. Dr. Sharon Basil, Assistant Professor Community Medicine, received the Young Public Health Leader Oration Award 2021 as part of the National Youth Conclave for Public Health Specialists at Maharashtra on 26 March 2021. He also received the Reviewers Appreciation Award. Dr. Jimon K. Sam of the Department of Physiology and Mr. Ranjit Raj, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, have always been in the forefront to instill the spirit of social commitment in our students through the activities of the NSS and Environment Club. Prince K. Sam of the present batch of graduates was a coordinator for these activities as the NSS Secretary and as the Environment Club NCON Secretary. Prince and his team conducted many NSS activities like public awareness camps for HIV/AIDS, health camps, and activities for methodically greening the campus by tree plantation drives and indexing of botanical assets of the campus. All those names written on the trees here we owe it to the 2016 batch. Thank you very much. Sports achievement of 2016 graduating batch. Many of the young graduates seated here have made this institution proud in intercollegiate sports events. I'm certain had it not been for COVID, they would have bagged even more laurels for this institution. Megha Verghese was a member of the team that bagged the first place in the 4x400 KUHS state athletics meet. S. Abhidev and Ebin Verghese were members of the football team that won the KUHS Interzonal Football Tournament 2019. Vaishak John was member of the runners-up team of KUHS Basketball Tournament 2019. Srinidhi was part of our athletics team, and Karishma, C and Aditya were all part of the college throwball team and brought laurels to our institution. The batch of 2016 have also brought laurels in intercollegiate cultural events. The KUHS Arts Prizes, Sandra Babu got the third place at the Interzonal in percussion. A.N. Deepika, second place in classical music at the KUHS Zonal Arts, and A.N. Deepika, Eastern Bat, second place KUHS Zonal. We are going to miss a lot of musicians when you people pass out from here. Invicta Intermedicos, which involves all the medical colleges of Kerala, private and government, show some more winners from our institution, all through the achievements of our 2016 batch. Namita Biju got the first prize on the on-the-spot female dance. Sandra Sabu, second prize in plug-off band. And Tricia Maria represent the college for Bharatanatyam, and Aditya S represented for origami. As this is the first on-campus graduation day being celebrated after 2019, I feel the Medmerize exhibition conducted in November 2019 by this graduating batch of 2016 needs special mention. One of our faculty members mentioned after the event that Medmerize mesmerized everybody, and it is entirely true. This mega medical exhibition to commemorate the golden jubilee of the MMM hospital was the jewel in the crown of this graduating batch. It would be no exaggeration to say that during the activityless days of COVID pandemic, it was a memory of this wonderful event that kept the spirit of the campus alive. Nearly one week event from the 1st of November 2019 had 22,000 visitors. More than 11,600 of them were students from 90 schools of Ernakulam district and neighboring districts. The daily footfall on these days were calculated to be more than the holiday footfall at the popular water park of Wonderla. Academic achievements of the graduating 2016 batch. I think this is what all of us have been waiting for. The batch of 100 students had appeared for the first MBBS university exam in July 2017. I think all of you will remember those days. They got 91.92% pass with 43% first class and 18 distinctions. Second MBBS examination February 2019 saw this batch recording a 94.12 pass with 48 first classes and 29 distinctions. In the final MBBS Part 1 examination held in January 2020, which was a very difficult exam because it was post-COVID, things were difficult, the batch recorded a 90% pass with 39 first classes and 6 distinctions. In the final MBBS Part 2 examination, I still wonder how you people appeared for that exam with all the online classes and the crash courses that were taken for you. But you made us proud. Held in May 2021, they got 95.5 or 96% pass with 48 first classes. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Well done. We can confidently say that the 2016 batch sitting here are all achievers. In the first MBBS examination, Ms. Sarah Paul, who secured 504 out of 600, stood first with a score of 84% marks. At the university examination for the second MBBS, it was Shika Martha Eldo who stood first, securing 457 and 83% marks. At the final MBBS Part 1 examination, again, it was Sarah Paul with 320 out of 400, 80% marks. Final MBBS Part 2 examination, the baton was passed to somebody else. Malavika Rajiv, who scored 74% marks, was the topper. We have 3 endowment awards for the outgoing batch. First, in the name of our founder dean, Dr. C. Radhakrishnan, himself an eminent professor of forensic medicine, a proficiency award in forensic medicine and toxicology. Serena Elizabeth Joseph is a recipient of this award for this year. The next endowment award is T.K. Alexander's Proficiency Award in Ophthalmology, instituted by our former professor and head of the Department of Ophthalmology. The recipient for this is Dr. Sarah Paul. I think I can say that. Dr. Valsa Thomas was the head of the Community Medical Services of the MOSC Medical Mission Hospital, who laid the foundation for the well spread out community health centers of our institution over 40 years ago. These developed in the present Community Medicine Department of the Medical College and continue to function till date. Valsa Memorial Award, that includes a citation and vouchers for medical books worth 5,000, was instituted by Shade Foundation, an organization formed by ordinary members of the community she had served in and well-wishers in memory of Professor Valsa Thomas. And this is to be awarded to the student who secured the highest marks in the community medicine subject. This year's recipient for Dr. Valsa Memorial Award for Proficiency in Community Medicine is again Sarah Paul. The MBBS course is a very hectic one, and one must remember that all this is being assessed at the university level by KUHS. It was felt by the faculty that many students have been consistently among the top few, but have missed being the topper of that particular examination by a whisker. It was therefore decided that total marks the entire MBBS course would be taken and academic proficiency awards would be given to the top 3 students of the batch. Having scored 1,933 out of 2,450 marks, Sarah Paul has earned the position of the first rank holder of this batch of MBBS. Shika Martha Eldo with 1,902 marks gets the second rank, and with 1,883 marks, Priti Ponnachan is awarded the third position in the batch. The gold medal for the best outgoing student is not based merely on the marks obtained during the studentship, but includes, along with academic performance of the student, the performance during internship and their extracurricular activities. It is my privilege to state that the awards committee has decreed that the gold medal for the best outgoing student for the year 2022 be awarded to Purnima MS. Ladies and gentlemen, undoubtedly these young graduates have indeed worked hard to achieve what they had set out to secure. I think they all deserve a big hand from all of us. Now I'd like to say a couple of words to my dear young students, or should I call you my colleagues. Incidentally, I heard one of our sweeping staff, or looking out and seeing all of you dressed so beautifully walking down, and what came from their mouth was, "Nammada pillai endu bhangiyayittalle dress cheyanadu." For you, you will always be our children irrespective of how big you have become as doctors. You are entering into this world of a medical fraternity and the very profession of modern medicine. The 3 C's which I think is most important is competence, caring and communications. Today is a world where a doctor is viewed very suspiciously and not appreciated everywhere. Poor communication skills is perhaps one of the most important reasons for this. Whenever you speak to the patient or relatives for a moment, put yourself in their shoes. Anxious and totally ignorant in what is to follow. This empathy for the patient would go a long way in keeping everybody happy. Treating a disease to the best of our ability is within our capacity, but curing the disease is the grace of a much higher power. But politeness to patient despite all provocations is definitely in our hands, and a skill that we have to painstakingly nurture in ourselves. You are at a very crucial stage of your life. Yes, you are now eligible for the MBBS degree and to practice as a doctor. I would like to say, pause and think. While MBBS may be a course many of you decide for, there may be a few who still feel that they were only flowing with the tide. Our guest of honor for this year's graduation, Dr. M. Beena IAS, is a role model for all of you. Your medical training would always be useful for you in whichever field you choose to be in. Few are aware that it was Dr. Beena's sterling performance and contribution as a state program manager for the National Health Mission that fructified in the state of Kerala, achieving its vision of a single-digit IMR, infant mortality rate, Needless to say, her medical knowledge would have helped her in many stages of decision making. Many of you will be already preparing for the NEET examinations for post-graduations. Once again, I would like to say, pause and think before you take the leap into the specialty. Take the next NEET examination. Choose a specialty that you like. But do not let the NEET score decide the specialty with which you will have to be content with for the rest of your life. If in doubt, work for a few months in the subject you presently feel you would like to specialize in and then come up with a considered opinion. All that glitters is not always gold. While pursuing your academics and medicine, don't forget the wonderful skills of music, dance, sports, love for reading, photography, etc. that all of you have been endowed with. These interests should be nurtured, as finally they would be the only panacea and stress relievers of your profession. During your hectic life as a doctor, do not forget the small things in life, like watching the greenery, watching the birds, just sitting quietly, listening to other people talk. Never forget your family, your friends, grandparents, and probably children. I would pray that a child should never be substituted with a mobile phone. Like a child was asked once, what would you like to be if you were to be born once again? He said, I would like to be a mobile phone because my parents are always petting my mobile phone more than me. So this is what we should all remember. Let us pray for contentment, mental peace, and a socially useful existence. Wish you all a very satisfying future. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are blessed to have with us His Grace Dr. Yakub Mar Irenaeus Metropolitan. His Grace is the Metropolitan of the Diocese of Kochi of the Malankara Orthodox Church and Vice President of the Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church Medical Mission. We are indeed very much privileged to have Tirumeni amongst us. May we now humbly request His Grace Dr. Yakub Mar Irenaeus Metropolitan to deliver the benedictory address.
Sri Joy P. Jacob, the Secretary and CEO of Kolancherry Medical Mission Project. Our guest of honor this evening, Dr. Beena IAS, Dr. Divagar, Dean, Kolancherry Medical College, and other luminaries here sitting, especially Dr. M.C. Matthew. Is only too known to me. Perhaps he was the most conscientious chairman of the Christian Medical Vellore College Council. Sir, my namaste to you. As we were walking down to this venue, it was as if we are entering a tunnel. So some playful idea came to my mind. It's a single entrance Kolancherry tunnel. Anyway, it looks beautiful. Friends, the graduates of the day on both sides, this is in a way a day of celebration for you and for us also. You are celebrating not only your life, hopes and dreams, but a stage in your onward journey, in all probability, in the medical profession. Enjoy, we all join to wish you well and join this heartfelt celebration when you are feeling full this evening. After your hard work and toil, you are receiving something in your hand, which I hope is very valuable. When we celebrate an event, we are not alone. In any celebration, what the name? We celebrate as a community. Even now and today, when you celebrate your graduation, you celebrate it as a community with the family of Kolancherry Medical Mission Hospital, Medical College, but also the community in the vicinity all around. This is a celebration for us all. God has given us such different stages in our graduation as we grow up and graduate this level to a better level. Let us not forget the community. That is what I have in my mind. You heard that the family is important, the community is more important, your own personal life is important. So always the community is here and now, and we are in and with the community. Perhaps the best principle or idea that the Christian church has given to humanity is the idea that the human person is precious, invaluable, and irreplaceable. The human person is unique and irreplaceable, whether good or bad. In the Bible, we have the story of the prodigal, where a father is deeply insulted by his two sons. You have to read it that way. But the father never gives up. He's always waiting. Like Bacchus is willing in Shakespeare. He's waiting for something to happen, and it really happens. And this story, this parable, was told by none other than Jesus Christ. And for the Father, who for us is the Heavenly Father, for Him, even a son who disobeys his father and runs away and has his own will, his own day, seeking his own fortune. But the father never gives up. For him, that disobeying son too is irreplaceable, valuable. I think this is a principle that you need to write it down in your hearts and apply it to your hearts. Every individual is precious and irreplaceable. Maybe a doctor or a patient. For example, when a patient gets well and goes out happy with his or her family, they are all happy, you are also sharing that happiness. On the other hand, when a patient does not get well, maybe passes away and goes out, everybody in tears, I feel you are also sharing that pain. So always joy or sorrow, there is an element of sharing because the human person is precious. Every patient before you, willing or unwilling, resisting sometimes, calling you names, but even such an individual is precious. That makes medical science unique. Nobody can be replaced. When Jesus says this story, not only single story, so many stories, just explaining this cardinal principle that every individual is invaluable. We take it in. In a place like in a hospital or a medical college, this is a special world where you confront with tears and joys and sorrows and pain all intertwined. Sometimes you don't know what decision to arrive at. Sometimes very emotional. But the heart of it is this principle. I repeat it again. The human person is irreplaceable. That rings round in my heart and your heart too. And as a doctor, you are owning that patient. This is mine. This patient is mine, may not be a relative. He or she is mine. Now, that kind of emotional claim coming from a medical practitioner gives a lot of solace to the patient. If you allow me to quote from Dr. Sukumar Adikod Mash, Sir, Tatomasi, when he writes it, maybe Kavida sometimes. അന്തിയിൽ സൗരഭ്യം പരത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് നിൽക്കുന്ന പൂവിനെ കെട്ടിപ്പിടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇതെൻ്റേതാണെന്ന് മൂകാഭിമാനം കൊള്ളുന്ന പൂഞ്ഞെട്ട്. Shall I repeat it? It's very difficult. അന്തിയിൽ അന്തരീക്ഷത്തിൽ സൗരഭ്യം പരത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് നിൽക്കുന്ന പൂവിനെ കെട്ടിപ്പിടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇതെൻ്റേതാണെന്ന് മൂകാഭിമാനം കൊള്ളുന്ന പൂഞ്ഞെട്ട്. That is you. And you over there. The movement is saying, this is mine. As I said, it need not be your cousin, your relative. It's a human being at that. And the movement has every right to say, this is mine. It will not run away. That makes sense everywhere in human relationship. And at sometimes you may sit down, relax, and wonder what a piece of work is man. That is Shakespeare. What a piece of work is man. Sometimes you hold your head like that and start sobbing. Oh, what a day. At the end of the day, you are too tired, dead tired, till somebody comes and knocks. There you experience the joys and sorrows inevitably in human life, and you touch the soul of a perfect human being. We don't have perfect human beings in our society. We are aspired to be one. But the moment you touch such a spot in the heart of a person with your words or a smile, in Sanskrit there's a word smidabhashi. Midabhashi you know, but smidabhashi means always speaking with a smile. Smidabhashi. A doctor can be, if he or she wills, could be a smidabhashi. Maybe that may give a lot of comfort to the patient. All patients are anxious. You must have seen that. I have never been a patient in a hospital. But every patient but the name visiting a hospital is anxious till the doctor gives a pat and says, nothing to worry. Kavalapadadenge. Koi baat nahi. Then you are relieved. Is that kind of smita bhashyam we need. It's a special language. We are told that there are so many languages with humanity. There is one language that God uses when He talks to human beings, and that is the language of love. There's no language other than that to surpass the language of love. It could be translated into a smile, to a word of comfort, just to give an air of relaxation. But that needs a lot of hard work and developing certain attitudes. I am slipping from medical science to something else, maybe social science. Attitudes decide the quality of our life. Change your attitude to change life. Heaven or hell, experience on this earth, depends on attitudes. Situations may not change us, but we can change the situations with a meaningful change in our attitudes. I have just noted down a small, it's not a story, but a statement. Heaven is when you have listed 4 or 5. Heaven is when you have an American salary, a British home, a Chinese food, German car, and an Indian wife. I have not finished. Hell is when you have an Indian salary, Chinese house, American car, German food, and a British wife. Now, all these are normal in their places, but the attitude matters and counts. For us, Indian salary may be satisfactory or not. When somebody else looks at the Indian salary, they will say, oh, what kind of this? And I need not go and explain Indian wife. All depends on attitudes. So your attitude, not only to yourselves, your comrades, your co-workers, your patients, and society at large. You have so many parents sitting here. They all want to see as doctors, not just MBBS. Many of you will be going up the scale, the postgraduate or beyond. So let us try to develop a very, very positive attitude. That is not a proper word. When I spoke about Mr. M.C. Matthew, I can just put everything in a nutshell and say he is a good Christian. Sir, I'm not just praising you like that, but this is my conviction. Our attitudes matter to ourselves, to our patients. Years ago, there was some drama or cinema, I don't know, I never visit cinemas. A patient comes from a village and he addresses the doctor. What does doctor? Amen. Dr. Amen. And after a few days, doctor thinks, what is this? He calls me Dr. Amen. And he tells him, don't call me Dr. Amen, call me doctor. Oh, doctor. The whole world is changed for that person. It is exactly that is expected from me and from you all, individually and separately. Before I call it a day, finish, I will just use one more word. Jesus Christ was a doctor. He was a guru, a teacher, preacher, and everything rolled into one. You can never say he was not a doctor. Preaching, teaching, and healing. Those are the three things he engaged in. So he was a doctor par excellence. He was a preacher par excellence. He was a guru par excellence. But when he saw the crowd, he had compassion on them. There is a felt description on how he feels. He had compassion on the multitude. Now that word, partly it is Latin. Passion is suffering, pati is suffering. Compassion means suffering with the other. Companion is one who breaks bread with you. Panis is bread. Companion. One who eats with you is your companion. The same way, compassion is somebody is out there crying out for help. And the Good Samaritan is all ready, without asking, who are you? What is your address? Where is your Aadhaar card? Nothing like that. When somebody is in need, and in pain, somebody else is running to him because there is compassion, the readiness to suffer with the suffering person. Maybe we are not demanding too much with the graduates on the wings, but this exactly is the spirit. This is the spirit. The spirit of compassion comes from God. God is compassionate. Look at the colors around here. Except Dr. Meena, everybody looks like a bishop, like a Syrian bishop. Dr. Meena may know that. She was visiting churches, she was murmuring in my ears. These people are all monks, Eastern monks, all in black. God has given us a variety of colors, languages, textures. Everything is new. Every day is a new day, remember. Past the day's labors, you go to bed, throw yourself down on the bed. Oh my God, it is over. Next day you come up. It is a new day. Let us remember that. On this happy occasion of the celebration of your graduation stage by stage, let us thank God for this institution. Kolancherry, should I say, is an institution with a difference. Don't ask me how to explain that. Kolancherry Medical Mission and CMC Vellore, Dr. Matthew knows, these are institutions with a difference. I was for a long time in the working committee and came up to the vice chair or something like that in CMC Vellore. So I know what it is and how it works. And wherever I go, I just quote from CMC mission statement. In the spirit of Christ. That is CMC Vellore. Whatever they say or do or be, everything in the spirit of Christ. That is coined by none other than Dr. Ida Scudder, the founder. So let us do and celebrate in the spirit of Christ. As you go up, remember the painful people, remember the poor. Saint Paul was the greatest missionary. He was not one among the apostles. Late after some time, he came to Jerusalem, that is the capital, and he met senior apostles. He was waiting, what they are going to tell him. They just said, remember the poor. Goodbye. When you look at the helpless face of the poorest of the poor patient, that looking at the face of the poorest of the poor patient, helpless, hapless, totally disintegrate. That is life. There you meet with human life as such. I should not go on in the program. My benedictory address is not limited to this minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know why. They have given me the freedom. Anyway, I have to stop somewhere. So I must profusely thank the CEO of this institution for inviting me to be part of your celebration, your enjoyment, and sharing your dreams sometimes. Continue to dream dreams. Dreams make you big. Thank you for that. And also, I appreciate the presence, acknowledge the presence of Dr. Meena. She has migrated from medicine to civil service. It's a migration. And all of the doctors, and Dr. MC Matthew is dear to me. And all the doctors here, and you are already doctors or almost doctors, whatever it is. I greet you all. I greet the actions and the senior people sitting there, including Dr. Epan. I acknowledge your presence, all of you. I greet all the parents there. They are very expectant. Parents at the back are very expectant, not to go back home at 6 o'clock, but about you. May God bless you, be with you in your life's journey ahead, and make the leap of faith as a good human being. May God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, His Grace, for the blessing showered upon us. We are indeed honored to have here with us Dr. M. Beena, IAS Chairperson of Cochin Port Authority. We now request Dr. Chitra J. Prakash, Professor and HOD Microbiology, to please say a few words and enlighten us about our chief guest, Dr. M. Beena.
His Grace Dr. Yakub Mar Irenaeus Metropolitan, other respected dignitaries honored of the dais, faculty members, parents, and my dear graduates. Good evening to all. I deem it a privilege and honor to be given the opportunity to introduce the chief guest of this event, Dr. M. Beena IAS, who is also my friend and batchmate. Dr. Beena assumed the charge as chairperson, Cochin Port Authority, in the year 2018. A native of Trivandrum, Dr. Beena is an alumni of Government Medical College, Trivandrum, and got into Indian Administrative Services from the Kerala cadre in the year 1999. She has served in various capacities in the state, including Assistant Collector, Sub-Collector, and Director of various departments. She has also served as the District Collector of Thrissur and Ernakulam. During her service period of 23 years, Dr. Beena had multifaceted experience in various sectors, including infrastructure development, transportation, industrial development, airport cargo handling, financial services, to name some of them. She was the Managing Director, Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation, and CEO, Smart City Trivandrum, prior to joining Cochin Port Authority. She was also the Managing Director to the Roads and Bridges Development Corporation, Vaitila Mobility Hub, Kerala Books and Publications Limited, and Supplyco. Her contributions to the health sector after entering service have been as Mission Director, National Rural Health Mission, Project Director of Kerala State AIDS Control Society, Secretary Ayush, in charge of Managing Director, Kerala Medical Services Corporation Limited, and in charge of Secretary Health. During her stint as the District Collector of Ernakulam, Dr. Beena was closely associated with the activities of Cochin Port Authority, especially the construction of International Container Transshipment Terminal and many prestigious projects like commissioning of Petronet LNG, Phase 2 expansion of BPCL, laying of GAIL pipeline, etc. Married to Mr. P. Vijayan IPS, who is the Inspector General of Police, Kochi Range, the couple is blessed with 2 children, daughter Vishnu Priya studying at BITS Pilani, Hyderabad, and son Viknesh pursuing his economics degree at O.P. Jindal Global University, Haryana. With this, Beena, I request you to address the August gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. We are indeed honored to have such an eminent personality in our midst and welcome you wholeheartedly. We now request Dr. M. Beena to deliver the keynote address.
Good evening to all of you. His Grace, Dr. Yakub Mar Irenaeus Metropolita, Dr. M.C. Matthew, Professor Emeritus of Developmental Pediatrics, Joy P. Jacob, Secretary of this institution, Dr. K.K. Divagar, Dean, Dr. G.G., Deputy Dean, distinguished faculty members, distinguished members of the Board of Directors, the cream of today, the toast of today, the graduating students, the proud parents, teachers, staff members, and dear friends. this day is actually taking me down a trip down memory lane. Because I remember years ago, we were also in these stuffy gowns, waiting for the ceremony to end so that you can just remove it. I fully understand and sympathize with your impatience. So we also had to go through these speeches, and we just had to wait for that moment. We will get our scrolls, and there was this group photo, and then we had to just remove our caps. This is a day of celebration for all of you, not just as individuals. Yes, as individuals, it has not been easy to reach the place where you are, because with very high levels of competition in schools, +2, NEET exam, coaching classes, and you feel that, okay, getting into an MBBS degree means the end of all. Now you are free. But then here you come, you have got vivas, you have got average exams, you have got, exams all the time. And today you graduate, you think that this is the end, but then NEET PG is waiting for you. A lot of other challenges are waiting for you, but let us not remember them today. Today you just celebrate, today you rest on your laurels. Dear friends, I've been often asked as to what has been my takeaway from my medical education. In fact, the speech of the Metropolita actually reminded me of, some of the very core aspects of medicine. In fact, if you have really paid attention to his speech, I think you need nothing more. He has given you the talisman for your service, the moral compass that you should be holding close to your heart in the years in which you serve humanity. So, when people ask me, what is it that, what is it about the medical profession that has helped you or that will help you in the service? I often tell them that the very rigorous examination schedule, the amount of hard work, the ability to read up huge volumes of text material within such a short time, that will definitely be of use to you, not just in the civil service exam, but any exam. That ability to hard work, let me be frank with you, because normally government employees are like, come at 10 o'clock, go at 5 o'clock people. Now, amidst those people, to be able to work 24/7, maybe for 3-4 days without rest, at the time of a natural calamity, at the time of election, at the time of law and order issues. So that ability to work hard, I think it is imbibed in every medical student, in every doctor. But more importantly, I would tell them that a hospital is a place where the richest guy, the most powerful guy, the most influential person, he comes to the hospital with pain, with suffering. He is at his most vulnerable in a hospital. So working in the hospital environment for these 5 years or 6 years, that has given me the empathy, the emotional intelligence. That is actually what stands you apart in the field of administration. Not just in administration, wherever you go, that ability to empathize. His Excellency said, compassion. So these are the qualities which you have. I'm sure if you deal with patients, if you deal with people in pain and suffering, this will automatically come to you. But bear this in mind. So maybe you have had a tough day, maybe you were very tired, you might feel like snapping at the patient or at the bystander. But please remember that you are in a service where you are supposed to be beyond these limitations. In fact, I think it was Mr. Divakar who mentioned the change that has come in the way society perceives doctors. Earlier it was said, it was Dr. Aman In fact, doctors were given, the greatest amount of respect was first for the doctor and second for the teacher. If you look at any village or any old time. But that has changed a lot. You all know what is happening in the hospitals, if there is a death, if there is a casualty. So that trust has been lost somewhere, somehow. So if there is a casualty, the immediate response is to, chalo, let us beat up the doctor. So how has this happened? I think we doctors, I still hold myself as a doctor, at least partially, we also need to do some introspection. So that is where empathetic communication, His Excellency, the Metropolitan mentioned about that. When you communicate to the patient, when you communicate to the bystander, the way you do it, first, it is not enough that you do your work. It is not enough that you do your best for the patient. It is also important to communicate it to the bystander. So empathetic communication to a large extent will help, find a solution to the divide which is there between doctors and patients these days. Dear friends, Kerala has got a very good standing as far as the health sector is concerned. Because if you study your community medicine textbook, in the civil services always, when I talk to people from other states, they look at Kerala with a lot of respect. Because you look at our indicators, you look at our health indicators, you look at our human development indicators, our education indicators, our empowerment, our female empowerment indicators. So all these areas we have done tremendously well. And that has been largely because of institutions like the Malangara Orthodox Syrian Church Medical College at Kolancherry. I was so impressed by the narration by Sri Joy P. Jacob when he said as to how a small hospital, it was not even a hospital, it was a health center, then it became a hospital, then it gradually aspired to become one of the finest medical colleges in India, not just in Kerala, in India. And the kind of achievements the students have made in terms of research, in terms of academic achievements, in terms of co-curricular, in terms of extracurricular achievements. So basically, just like your dreams are coming alive, the journey of you are metamorphosing from a pupa into a butterfly, this institution has also, over the years, has blossomed, is scaling heights of glory. So, the kind of contribution of such institutions have made Kerala's health scenario what it is today. And Dr. Divakar was mentioning about the single digit IMR. We aspired for a single digit IMR. In fact, we worked very hard. In fact, Dr. Sachidanand Kamath, who was the then Indian Academy of Pediatrics president. So we all worked a lot to ensure that this happens. And today I am very happy to know that we have crossed that single digit. We are now standing at 4.4, which is a figure that is comparable to the Western world. So we have had a lot of accolades, we have had a lot of achievements. But having said that, Kerala is facing the dual burden of health today. As far as communicable diseases are concerned, when we were students, in fact, Chitra will be remembering, in our microbiology textbook, there were a lot of these names. These names you studied, you memorized just to get some extra points in the exam. Because you were so certain that you will never come across a patient. And much to my astonishment, we are seeing such kind of diseases every now and then. Chikungunya is a typical example. I don't know how many of you as students, this particular disease, chikungunya, West Nile fever, monkey fever, to actually see these diseases as public health menaces is something which I could never have imagined those days. So now we have, on the one side, we have managed to eradicate a lot of communicable diseases, but a lot of new communicable diseases are coming. And on the other side, we have non-communicable diseases. I think 25% of our population is diabetic, 30% of our population is hypertensive, nearly 40% of our population is obese. So there is, as doctors, you have a lot of work at hand, because I've always felt that medicine is not just a practice of medicine. Medicine should actually be aimed at improving the health of a state, of a community. So we have, especially with the community health background, which CMC Vellore espouses in such a brilliant way, I think you have a lot of work at hand to contribute to the community. Another change I am seeing is the importance of diagnostics. Now, I have seen, my teachers have said, okay, you listen to this, you listen to the small murmur, you do the tap, you see the reflex. Now I see an entirely different scenario. Nobody examines patients anymore. In fact, very few people even auscultate. So it is all, okay, you have a chest issue, go, you do the chest x-ray, you do the CT. And CTs and MRIs are happening almost as though it's earlier x-ray and blood testing, now you are having CT and MRI. So the higher levels of dependency on technology, well, technology is a great thing, I mean, no doubt about that. Technology has improved longevity, technology has improved the kind of interventions we have been able to do. But somewhere, I think the loss of human contact, this might also be a reason when I said that the veneration, the respect that doctors have been getting in society are coming down. Maybe that the loss of the human touch is also one reason, probably one reason for this. So, while technology is a great tool, if you allow technology to be your master, I do not think that will be the desirable way of doing. Because technology as a tool, there are innumerable opportunities, especially COVID has thrown the spotlight on a lot of technological advancement. In fact, in India, healthcare is a sector which is growing at a CAGR, compounded annual growth rate, of 22%. I mean, I don't think any other sector is growing at this pace. And healthcare sector is the 5th largest employer. So as a sector which provides employment, as a sector which provides economic growth, healthcare sector has emerged as a sector of great importance. But how to channelize it, how to ensure that this increase in technology, this growth in the kind of machinery that you have, ultimately translates into the well-being of your patient. I think that is the challenge which you doctors will have to, you'll have to find solutions to. So, just a few words of advice, because I am a person, I've seen this side of the story and also the other side. I've seen why, sometimes bystanders respond in particular ways. I've also seen this side of the story. So, 2 or 3 things. One, always aim for professional excellence. Be good at what you are. It might be whatever specialty you are. Be the best in it. And this means not just academic laurels, but professional competence. And sometimes the two are different. Again, going back to my MBBS days, I was a relatively good student those days. So just next to me, the next roll number was a boy. I will not take his name. So he was a very lazy guy. He would come late for all classes. He would never even, properly dress. His shirt was collar was unbuttoned. And he always used to come after me in the Viva. And his marks were pretty bad because he comes after me and I'm good. And the person who comes after me automatically will get bad marks. So I didn't have much of a regard for this guy. But many years later, a very senior official came to my office for something else. And he was mentioning that he had a very critical cardiac issue. And he was referring to a person in the Sri Chitra Institute of Medical Science as nothing but God for him. Then I asked about who is this person. And it turns out that same lazy guy who was not too good in academics, who was not too good in Viva voce, is this person that is being referred to. It seems there was, this patient had divarication of the aorta, which he as a cardiothoracic surgeon intervened immediately and literally saved his life. So, point I'm trying to say is, academics are good, academics are great, but professional competence matters. So in the years to come, ensure that you become good doctors. You become skilled doctors. Number two, I think I've already touched upon your personal skills, your soft skills. And I think Dr. Divagar mentioned it, emotional skills. See, we are living in a generation where everybody is stressed out. You will have problems at home, you will have problems everywhere. But the hospital is not the place where you let it out. So, emotional skills, balancing your own life, balancing work-life balance, and having the sense of empathy to the patient. And also, let me tell you, again, this is something which I have picked up from my civil service experience. IQ, your intelligence quotient, is a bar. Okay? If only you cross the bar, do you reach somewhere. But once you reach there, your IQ it's not directly proportional to your performance. Your performance is actually related more with your EQ. So while you require a certain intellectual caliber to reach a place, it is ultimately how good you are with the patients, how good you are with the bystander. Most importantly, how good are you with the team? Because a doctor is essentially a team leader. You have to handle the nurses, you have to handle the hospital attendants. So that emotional skills also, please work upon it. Third, I will say is be curious. Be curious for the rest of your life, because your journey of learning does not end today. In fact, it starts today. So your journey should be a lifelong journey of knowing more things, understanding more things. In fact, some of the best doctors I've come across do not limit themselves to their specialty. A very fine ophthalmologist I encountered recently, she reads MRIs much better than any neurologist. So be good in, not just in your area, but keep on learning, keep on getting new information. And fourthly, use technology. Don't let technology use you, but use technology. Be techno-savvy, be able to use technology for the betterment of the patient. And lastly, this is something which I personally believe in. I was a rank holder in SLC, I was a rank holder in pre-degree, I got into MBBS and engineering in my first attempt. Then right after MBBS, I got into MD Gynecology in Trivandrum Medical College. Then I came into the civil services. But one thing which I've always held close to my heart is success is a journey. It is not a destination. So don't put a full stop on the journey of your success. Keep on doing well wherever you are, wherever you go, because there is more to do and more to achieve. So wishing all of you the very best, thanking the hospital authorities for having given me this opportunity. I wish each one of you the very best, to the best for yourself and for all your family members. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your words of wisdom.
The most awaited moment. Yes, now it is time we acknowledge the talent of our brimming bodies. The fruit of hard work and discipline will finally be reaped as we present the Scholastic Awards.
We request Dr. M. Beena to please present the Scholastic Awards. Academic topper in first MBBS, Tara Paul. Academic topper in 2nd MBBS, Shikha Martha Eldo. Academic topper in Final MBBS Part 1, Sarah Paul. Academic topper in Final MBBS Part 2, Malavika Rajiv.
Next, we have special mementos and certificates of proficiency for overall performance in exams. First position, Sarah Paul. Third position, Pretty Ponnachan.
The TK Alexander Memorial Award for the Best Outgoing Student in Ophthalmology goes to Sarah Paul.
The Dr. C. Radhakrishnan Proficiency Award in Forensic Medicine goes to Serena Elizabeth Joseph.
The Dr. Valsa Memorial Award for the Best Outgoing Student in Community Medicine goes to Sarah Paul. Thank you, madam.
Now, coming to the most prestigious award of the day, the award for the best outgoing student, the MOSC Gold Medal. This award goes to Dr. Purnima MS. We request His Grace Thirumeni to award our best outgoing student, Dr. Purnima MS, with the MOSC Gold Medal. Thank you, His Grace.
At this juncture, dear graduates, the merit you have been waiting for has finally come. You will be receiving your prize degree, the symbol of your success and accomplishment. Graduates receiving the memento, please come forward as your name is called.
May we request our Secretary and CEO, Joyce sir, to give away the mementos. A.N. Deepika. Aditya S. Aaron Augustine. Ashel Maria Saj. Abhishek SL. Aldo C. Sunny. Ahana Mariam Alex. Aisha Fidi Rashid. Aishwarya ER. Akhil A. Thank you, sir.
We now call upon our Dean, Dr. K.K. Divagar, to give away the mementos. Akil Cheryan. Alan Tambi Cheryan. Alan Jacob John. Amal Elias. Anju Thomas K. And Mariam Abraham. And Sarah Jacob. And Xavier Pullikul. Anubama Anil. Anubama Anna John. Thank you, sir.
We invite Dr. Gigi Palakaran, Deputy Dean, to present the mementos. Anurag Paul Thompson. Aparna K. Murli. Augustine Syria. Evelyn Binu. Aisha Noha Jamal. Basil Paul. Brian Simenti. Senta Sara Jerry. Sia Serin Isaac. Clara Teresa Baby. Dalia Maria Sebastian. Danny Elias. Deepak K. Ibn Verghese. Eldos Babu. Thank you, madam.
We invite our medical superintendent, Dr. Sojan Aib, to present the mementos. Jishnu Vijay Kumar. Gopi Krishnan G. Grishma Joy. Harishma R. Nath. Hasna Hussain. Hira Shaji. Hiba K. Irene Matthews. Jiva Maria Varghese. Jiva Angel Joseph. Gerald D. Raju. Jaren Thomas Matthew. Jewel John. Karishma C. Pillai. M. Sriranj. Thank you, sir.
We invite Dr. M.C. Matthew, Professor Emeritus of Developmental Pediatrics, to present the mementos. Malaviga Prakash. Rajiv. Manjula Sara Zakaria. Megha Tambi. Megha Verghese. Megha Elsa Curie. Merin Chaco. Midhun Romeo. Mohammad Irfan MN. Muhsina Renish. Thank you, sir.
We welcome Dr. Annie Soman, Professor and HOD, Obstetrics and Gynecology, to present the mementos. Namita Biju Kochimuttam. Neeraja N. Varma. Neha S. Nimita Elizabeth Matthew. Purnama MS. Pretty Ponnachan. Prince Kesan. Rasina KP. Reshma P. Reggie. Ria Babu. Thank you, ma'am.
We welcome Dr. Shalu Aip, Professor and HOD Anesthesiology, to present the mementos. Roshni Babu. S. Abhidev. S. R. Suraj. Sahil Sabi. Sandra Sabu, Shankar Dinesh Kamat, Sarah Paul. Sarah Paul also has a cash prize for the Dr. Walser Memorial Award for the Best Outgoing Student in Community Medicine. Sarah Shaji. Serena Elizabeth Joseph. Shannon Sequeira. Thank you, madam.
We welcome Dr. Usha Pudiod, Professor and HOD Pathology, to present the mementos. Shazia N. Shah. Shikha Martha Eldo. Shilpa Mini George. Sneha and Sajeev. Sneha KL. Srinidhi B. Shreya Chandran. Shreya Santosh. Shruti Reggie Isaac. Surya S. Rajiv. Thank you, ma'am.
We welcome Dr. Isaac Mathai, Professor and HOD Pediatrics, to present the mementos. Susan Arikal Sajeev. Swapna Mariam Samuel. Thomas Vechukunel Thomas. Teresa Maria Anthony. Twinkle Lynn Saji. Vaishak John. Thank you, sir.
A down-to-earth man and a man of few words, but ample set of qualities, who sets a perfect example for the budding doctors with his dedication to the medical profession. A doctor is a lifelong learner, and Dr. M.C. Matthew is a right example for this. We now call upon Dr. M.C. Matthew, Professor Emeritus of Developmental Pediatrics, to lead our fellow graduates in reciting the traditional oath. All new graduates are requested to rise, stretch their right hand, and recite the oath. All members of the medical profession are also requested to rise.
Let me request you to follow what I speak from this pledge and repeat it after me. A copy of this is with you already, so it is easy to follow. Shall we be quiet for half a minute? I solemnly pledge myself to consecrate my life to service of humanity. Even under threat, I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. I will maintain utmost respect for human life from the time of conception. I will not permit consideration of religion, nationality, race, and party politics, or social standing to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the secrets which are confided in me. I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will maintain by all means in my power the honor and noble traditions of medical profession. I will treat my colleagues with all respect and dignity. I shall abide by the code of medical ethics as enunciated in the Indian Medical Council regulations. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor, God being my helper. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir. Sir, a few words of enlightenment and wisdom for our graduates.
Kind of you for those few words. When a marine engineer sets out on his voyage, he is given 3 manuals. First is the engineering manual of the ship. The second is a behavioral manual for sea voyage. And third is a manual for personal wellness. Dear friends and graduating doctors of 2016, what you have just now spoken after me is a behavioral manual that is set for you as you set out on this journey of practice of medicine. This particular code of ethics that is briefly enunciated in the pledge that we made this evening is indeed a guideline for all conduct and behavior in our practice of medicine. As doctors, we are surrounded by a network of relationships. Doctors and patients, doctors and other healthcare professionals in our team, doctors and representatives of pharmaceutical industry, doctors and equipment manufacturers, doctors and laboratory professionals, doctors and healthcare policy makers, doctors and civil servants, and the list is longer. If you and I as doctors have to function in this wide network of relationships, we require a charter. We require a guideline. We require a signpost so that we function with that dignity and decorum that is reposed upon us after we have gone through this training. From the time that you entered the portals of this institution, you were getting trained for this occasion when you will graduate and leave into the wider world, carrying with you this code of behavior. This year happens to be my 50th year after I graduated in 1972. I was guided by two major influences in my life. First is this code of behavior that we have together now committed ourselves to. The second was mentors. Along the journey of my life, with several turning points in my life, I turned to my mentors to be part of my formative experience. Who is a mentor? A mentor is a companion, a confidant, and a carer. May I recommend to each of you graduating doctors to look for a mentor, or more than one perhaps, to whom you can turn at various moments in your life so that you have a sounding board in them to give you an insight more than what you have. If you are going to be surrounded by this code of ethics and mentors along your journey of life, you will certainly live your calling. May I therefore give our good wishes as an institution in your journey forward for you to be pathfinders for others and a helping companion for patients and their families that you will look after. Well done. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, graduates. You can now move your tassels from the right to the left.
It's always a privilege of the junior batch to share their joy and happiness of having wonderful seniors throughout their journey during their undergraduate life. So now it is time to hear from them. We now have Abhishek Sam of the 2017 batch to propose a toast to the outgoing batch.
September 11, 2017. I still remember the day I walked through the gates of this institution. Looking back 5 years hence, it's fair to say that we have had our fill of fun and frolic, thanks to a bunch of 100-odd seniors of the 2016 batch. Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, faculties, families, and men and women of the hour, the graduates of this year. Good evening all. I consider it a great honor to be given the opportunity to deliver the toast to our beloved seniors of 2016 batch for your convocation on an evening as special as this. First and foremost, congratulations once again. You made it. You guys have finally reached the stage you have dreamed of so often. This is certainly a moment worthy of a greater recognition than any normal graduation ceremony, as your college experience has been something different. You got a taste of typical campus life in your first 4 years, only to see it snatched away by COVID-19 in your final year, after which a state of semi-normalcy was restored. And during the pandemic, we had to shift to the online mode, which was tough. And facing 1 year of the real world after this virtual innings with utmost grit and determination is what makes you unique from others. And during these 3 months of internship, we certainly gave you more than a few headaches. But you were always there for us, be it work, curricular or co-curricular activities. You anchored this unsteady ship on a raging sea impeccably and guided us ashore. Now, taking a walk down memory lane, the banner with Sarga College Union etched in golden letters, unfurling itself from the top, is still vivid in my memories. All the events that followed were top-notch, each carving out its own niche in the annals of MOSC history. Medmerize, MOSC's first mega medical exhibition, was one of its kind, attracting medicos and non-medicos alike from far and wide. Diwali, Christmas Day celebrations raised the bar, set the standards even higher. And Trans, the online arts event conducted, was a feather in your cap. Thinking out of the box, even during testing times, and pulling it off seamlessly was pretty remarkable. It was a source of inspiration and mental relief for all of us. Coming to academic proficiency and clinical skills, 16 batch was second to none. You have shown by example what a union and a batch should be. A batch with the best artists, sportsmen, and the list goes on. A batch in which unity and brotherhood knew no bounds. A batch that earned our respect right from day one. MOSC would never be the same without you. I know that your legacy will stand here at this college for years to come. Now we will continue to learn from your guidance and build on the frameworks you have set. Today, you have opened a new envelope, achieved a new opportunity, forged a new beginning, and reached a new level of achievement. The road ahead is an arduous one, but surely one for the taking. You were the best brothers and sisters one could ask for, the kings and queens of good times, the torchbearers of a new era. I'm delighted to raise a toast to my beloved outgoing batch of 2016. We wish you all success and goodwill in all your future endeavors. I am Abhishek Sam Alexander, but the batch of 2017, a beloved junior to the batch of 2016, signing off. Thank you.
Senior-junior relationship is the strength of every institution. The time they had together is always memorable. Dr. Namita Biju of the 2016 batch will reply to the toast.
Thank you, Abhishek Sam, for those kind and heartfelt words. As ma'am rightly said, success is a journey. It's not just a destination. A very warm and a pleasant good evening to the respected dignitaries on and off the dais, faculty members, proud parents, juniors, and my dear fellow mates. Today, I am extremely honored to stand before you to speak on behalf of the 2016 batch. So it comes down to this. Medicine. MBBS has been a dream for most of us before it even began. A dream we have all lived through during great turbulent times. However, it was a dream that we all fulfilled, and today we stand here awakened and inspired to only dream bigger. 6 years have passed, and it feels like yesterday that we took the most important decision of our lives. And if you think about it, not much changed. We still continue to take decisions. But today, there is a difference. We are far more prepared, better informed, and we have built our reserve of knowledge against the ones to come. Happiness is the journey, not the destination. So, shall we go back to where we all started? I mean, the journey? 20th September 2016 witnessed 100 ambitious, starry-eyed young minds with 100 different thoughts, ideas from 100 different places walk into MOSC Medical College. I started this journey alone, but little did I know that these unfamiliar faces would turn out to be my cheerleaders, my teachers, my support system, and family. I'm sure we all walked into college with huge expectations of how college life would be. But that's when reality hit us hard. With lots of biochem seminars, anatomy viva sessions, hematology practicals, exams, and exams. Our plan A was always to score 100% marks in all the papers and top the university exams with umpteen number of test papers and consistently low marks. But so we had to sadly settle down to plan B, in which we somehow managed to pass the first year. Even though we were technically doctors in making, we only knew very less about the quadriceps femoris, the peripheral smears, the Krebs cycle. We were pushed into second year, and when the second year began, we were pushed out of our lecture halls into the wards, and the books were replaced by considerate patients. Pathology slides, bacterial culture plates, forensics, and drug manuals became part and parcel of our second year. Not just that, but now we were finally considered as seniors and became a little too excited. We made a lot of mistakes. But along the journey, it was a part of the learning experience. And now looking back at it, we have happily made it through. Then came the third year, which is also called the honeymoon phase of medical school. This was the time when I personally was very much amazed to discover the hidden potential of our batchmates. By running the college union Sarga, they exhibited their exemplary leadership skills. I'm extremely happy to be a part of one of the events that marked a milestone in the history of MOSC. As the dean rightly said, yes, Medmerize. The medical exhibition, which was a huge success and a great achievement that always remains in our hearts. Among all these happening, we still were walking around with our otoscopes, head mirrors, ophthalmoscopes, and attending medical camps. And finally, reached the last lap of our journey. And as all final year students, we were too anxious about how, what, when, how are we going to make it through it. But COVID-19 had different plans. While we were supposed to run around in the ward taking cases and seeing patients, we were busy making dalgona coffees, binge watching Netflix. Initially and later then, it turned into Zoom classes. After a long gap of almost a year, we returned back. And together, all of us wrote our exams. And finally, we achieved the greatest milestone in our life. And I stand before you as Dr. Namita Biju Kochimuttam. This is definitely not the end of the journey. It's just another beginning. And this would not have been possible without the prayers, blessings, and the constant support of our beloved teachers. Right from the time we started our journey till this very minute I'm standing before you, you have been our guiding light and way. All I want to tell you is heartfelt thank you. The past year, the year of internship, we have transformed personally and professionally, and without doubt, our institution, the faculty members, family, friends, our co-interns, which includes Dr. Abhishek Sam's batch, has been instrumental in the process. This experience would not have been complete without all of you. You, the eclectic people who made this journey unforgettable. We have created something far stronger than a network. Yeah? We have created a bond of respect, friends, gratitude, love, and care. Finally, a heartfelt thank you to the families who are present here today and those that were not able to make it. Thank you for believing in us and allowing us to live this dream. To both of you, to my fellow mates on either sides, today watching everyone wrapped in these amazing blazers and graduation coats, hats, and your hearts filled with joy, it's a bliss. The journey we started together as a team is being completed today. Why don't you want to clap for yourselves? We are in the new age where the change is the only constant. I encourage you to embrace it. Push the boundaries, innovate, and to find your own ways to set the new norms. Wishing you all good luck and wishes in all your endeavors to come. And thanks to all of you present here for the gathering today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
May we now request our Secretary and CEO, Joy P. Jacob, sir, to felicitate His Grace with a memento. We also request Joy, sir, to felicitate Dr. N.C. Matthew with a memento. As a gesture of tribute, we request Joy, sir, to felicitate our chief guest, Dr. M. Beena, with a memento. Thank you, sir.
As we draw curtains to today's graduation ceremony, we have our ever vibrant Deputy Dean, Dr. G.G. Palokaran, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you for that adjective. Good evening, everyone. On this August occasion of our 15th graduation ceremony, when 96 of our students are graduating, it is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of our CEO, Mr. Joy P. Jacob, Dean, Dr. K.K. Divakar, and all my colleagues, I thank all of you for making this a memorable occasion. We thank His Grace, Dr. Yakub Mar Irenios, Metropolitan, for taking this time off to be with us and for his thought-provoking benedictory address and facilitating the best outgoing students of this institution. He's also explained to you what a heavenly life can be and not so heavenly life can be. So it is your choice now. Dr. Beena IAS, Chairperson of Cochin Port Authority, for delivering the keynote address and presenting the Scholastic Awards today. Ma'am, thank you for taking your time off from today's important video conferencing and your French lessons, I'm told. I'm sure all of us were enraptured by your address and have a lot to take home. She has defined so beautifully what academic excellence and professional competence means and about the 5 skills all you my students should acquire. Dr. M.C. Matthew, Professor Emeritus of Developmental Pediatrics, who is one of the most loved and respected family members in the campus. Thank you, sir, for administering the Hippocratic Oath to the graduates. To all the heads of departments and faculty members for being here on this auspicious milestone of the graduates. Special thanks to Dr. Sojanite, Medical Superintendent, Dr. Annie Soman, Head of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. Shalu Aip, Head of Anesthesia, Dr. Usha Puthiod, Head of Pathology, and Dr. Isaac Matai, Head of Pediatrics, for giving away the mementos. An event of this magnitude cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance, and we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a dedicated team who made sure that you smile today and the tassels on your head remain steady and calm. A big thank you to all these good hearts working together as a team and family to make this graduation day a memorable one. Reverend Fathers John Kuriako Sachin, Head of Chaplaincy Department, Sibimo Nachan and team, and Dr. Chitra Jayaprakash, Head of Microbiology Department, who arranged our chief guest, His Grace Dr. Yakub Mar Irenios Metropolitan, and Dr. Beena, for meticulously working out all logistics regarding their visit here without a hitch. Though I shouldn't be thanking them here, I cannot help but mentioning our CEO, Mr. Joy P. Jacob, and Dean, Dr. K.K. Divakar, who put up with the new gen ideas, not knowing what was in store till the last moment. The Dean, for painstakingly going through the minutest details personally and supervising every person's task completed. Sirs, we admire your patience and perseverance. Dr. Ajit Venugopal, Head of Emergency Department, that packet of energy. I have learned this about him. For any emergency, he's the go-to man. Dr. Ajit, the mover, was seen egging on the graduates and the organizing members. He did all the coordination among all the staff, students, and committees for this memorable event. The selection committee with Dr. Vijay Paul, Dr. Susan Mani, and Mr. Ranjit Raj for diligently laying out all the criteria for the best outgoing student that was unanimously backed and supported. The various paperwork, proofreading, and prompt deliveries of mementos were due to the behind-the-scene hard work of Mr. Verghese P. John, Ms. Annapurna, Mr. John K. Thomas and team, along with Mr. Ranjit and Mr. Sunil NP, for the meticulous distribution of prizes and mementos and stage arrangements. A special thanks to Mr. Verghese, Ranjit, and Sunil. The voice that is always heard but not seen is the anchoring team ably led by Dr. Shireen George, Dr. Dr. Sneha Sarah Jaboy and team who kept up the tempo of the evening. A special note of appreciation to the choir for the melodious prayer song and Doctors Beena Amal and Anu Anna Jacob for helping out with the bouquets and mementos. If you haven't been pushed over or trampled upon this evening, it was due to the good and precise work of the seating arrangement team, Dr. George Dillu Thomas, Ms. Nisha M. and Jolly Verghese. The graduation day robes and their gowns were meticulously handled by Dr. Susan Mani, Dr. Sarah Johnny and team, which was done with clockwork precision. The food committee, Doctors Minulis Abraham, Anju Verghese, Elizabeth Samuel, Sheila Abraham, Seema Verghese and Nina Matthews for the sumptuous food to follow right after this. They'll be directing everyone to their respective counters, avoiding overcrowding and ensuring that everyone enjoys the delicious meal. I would also place my gratitude to Mrs. Nisha Laf and Mr. Sudev, who helped us with their expertise and who are not here right now. Mr. Ans Currier for being here and making himself available to help us through. I thank all the press club members for accepting our invitation and are here to see that this indeed turns out to be a great Kolancherry event. To all the proud parents for being with us for the past 6 years, waiting patiently for all good things for your wards. Last but not the least, I am to bid goodbye to you, my students. I am glad I was your teacher. I have come to love you so. I can't believe the end is here. I hate to see you go. You have come a long way from your first day in class, looking so frail and scared and even fainting during anatomy sections, to being professionals now. And some of you we can't even recognize with all your beard and mush. No matter where life leads you, no matter what you do, we'll always be your biggest fans and we'll be here for you. From Proverbs chapter 19, verses 20 and 21, if you listen to advice and willing to learn, one day you will be wise. People may plan all kinds of things, but God's will is going to be done. A special thanks to Doctors Alan Jacob John, Eldo C. Sunny, Alan Thambi, Akhil A., Ahana Mariam, and A.N. Deepika. We know you have spent sleepless nights for this memorable function, answerable to many when you yourself were groping for answers. You surely have taken us for a roller coaster ride. And what a nail-biting finish. Thank you. Goodbye and Godspeed. Our sincere thanks and warm wishes to ESPER Event Management. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. As we wrap up, a good thought by Abraham Lincoln. Next to creating a life, the finest thing man can do is save one.
Dear graduates, get ready to march the beat of the competitive world, and all the best for your future ventures. Let us all rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Please be seated. We request the dignitaries along with the graduates to proceed for the group photograph.
Please rise as the dignitaries leave the hall. As the dignitaries exit the hall, we will be having the hat tossing ceremony of the 2016 batch, which symbolizes the end of a chapter in the graduate's life. We request faculty and parents to stay back and witness this heartwarming moment.
Every day, every day, every
Please be
day.
seated.
I request all the guests to please stay away from the red carpet so that we can go ahead with the ceremony. I request all the guests to kindly take their seats again.
Rashomon, 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 Rashomon. Rashomon, 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 Rashomon. Rashomon, 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 Rashomon.
Well done, guys, and congratulations once again, dear graduates.
Dinner is served in the adjacent canopy. Photo booths have been set up to capture these golden moments. We request parents and students to proceed accordingly. We request all the faculty to hand over their robes. Enjoy dinner and have a nice evening. Thank you.
It's my vice, my wrongs, my rights, yeah. Listen to the rhythm and make no compromise. Cause you hurt, I don't wanna believe that I belong to you. I love myself in ways that you could never do. I want you more, I want you more. Tears in the clouds, cause your love's got me fucked up. Tears in the clouds, I'm a turn in the deep end. Tears in the clouds, cause your love's got me fucked up. Tears in the clouds, let me turn the beat down. I couldn't let your body, I'll never leave you now.
When my song come on, give you chills, get you crying in the club, babe. So many tears, cause you're trying to fight the love, babe. You move your body to the synths and the drum, babe. You move your body to the rise of the sun. Just go with the motions, babe. Girl, you should go with the motions, oh. Unload your emotions, babe. You've been suppressing emotions, oh. There's no escaping me, yeah. Let it out like therapy. There's no escaping me. Run your girls in the club, on the road, on the radio.
Tears in the clouds, cause your love's got me fucked up. Tears in the clouds, I'm a turn in the deep end. Tears in the clouds, cause your love's got me fucked up. Tears in the clouds, I couldn't let your body, I'll never let you down. I can never let you down, baby. I couldn't let your body, I'll never let you go, but I couldn't let you down. I wanna get you out of my hips, my thighs, my hair, my eyes. Tonight's the night. I told the universe I'm gonna realize then cut all ties. Live high as a satellite. I want you more, I want you more.
Halamati Habibu, Halamati Habibandale, Halamati Habibu, Halamati Habibanda, Halamati Habibu, Halamati Habibandale, Halamati Habibu, Halamati Habibu. வந்தாலே ஹலமதி ஹபீபு ஹலமதி ஹபீ வந்தா ஹலமதி ஹபீபு ஹலமதி ஹபீ வந்தாலே ஹலமதி ஹபீபு ஹலமதி ஹபீபு ஓ ஹலமதி ஹபீபு ஹலமதி